In this session, we're going to show how to set up a bid package. So here's a project that we just created in the last session. Right now, I see no gross total dollars or any budgets or anything of that nature at this point. I'm going to hit Add Bid Package. And basically, I can come up with whatever number and scheme that I want to here. So I'm just going to kind of follow the master format a little bit. And you kind of get the rough idea. So I'm just going to put one more in here then. And this one, I'm going to put quite a few different things in there. Maybe if I spell it right. And basically, all I'm doing is typing in a number and hitting enter, and it just keeps that window open. So that way I can just basically, put them in there as fast as I can. So that way it just sets up what is my groupings going to be, as far as how I'd like to group different bids that come in and so forth. So I can put like things together to get the analyzation between different things without having to analyze, everybody's bid on the exact same sheet. So as we take a look at here, I want to go in and actually create a little bit more for this one. Here's one I'm going to use for the most part. So when you click on this little buttons on the side here, this will come up with an option where you'll see something called a scope. With scope in this session, we won't really have anything until a future topic where we're going to actually take our Sage estimate and actually bring an estimate over where this scope is going to actually turn into the different line items that are in my estimate and so forth, and the different phases within my estimate to help me clarify things and so forth. So right now I'm going to skip the scope. Notes is where I could go on and put a note on about that bid package and so forth that we're going to do at a later point. And also, I can lock it if I don't want anyone making updates to this section anymore. So, or I can delete it. So in this case here, those will kind of be talked about later. The main thing I want to look at here is just adding the different phases that I'm going to be getting bids in on. And there again, I'm just hitting enter, so that way it keeps on just allowing me to put in a bunch at one time. Okay, so that kind of gives me enough. So if I click back here and just take a look at what we've got so far, so I can kind of tell that within this section, I want to analyze things like metal stud framing, hanging of the drywall, finishing of the drywall, painting of walls, and things of that nature. If you notice, I got a little collapse here, so that way I can collapse or expand. Same thing up here. So this would expand or collapse all of your grids at one shot. So I'm going to come back and just add a couple more things to concrete too, just for an example. So if I go to add phase here, and let's say that I want to same type of look. So there again, these are just going to basically be the sections that I'm going to analyze for my bids and so forth. So now that I've got basically a bid package at least set up, if I click on the title, it will actually take me into that bid package. So on this screen here, this is where we're going to start actually putting in the different bids and analyzing numbers. So this is all stuff that I could actually set up my bid packages. I can add my subs and all that type of stuff before bid day ever comes along for the, maybe I've got an idea who I'm going to get bids from or what I'm going to clarify, or excuse me, what I'm going to break out from my different sections and so forth all ahead of time. So make sure to join us on the next session where we're going to actually put in our subs and start taking a look at the analyzing power.